on, guys? Um, so yeah, we're gonna have a fun talk today. I'm gonna explain to you why I am the way I am, why sometimes I look like this, or I'm just completely shot out and just rough looking. And as most of you guys know, I go through a lot of health stuff, and I mean a lot. My body is constantly fighting to stay in this world. Some of you know a lot of what I've been dealing with. Some of you don't. Um, I'm also plagued by OCD and ADHD horribly with anxiety problems. So my my thinking is already erratic when it comes to a lot of stuff. I'm very someone who is very passionate about a certain thing, and I will trigger easily by one event or scenario that takes place. With that being said, I think there's a few things to dive into here so that you have a better understanding of how Dan works and how to cope with Dan, because I'm not the evil guy everybody thinks that I am. I am very passionate about certain things that I discuss, and I'm easily triggered by certain things that somebody does when it becomes personal with me, right? So I think one of the things to cover here is that with ADHD comes hyperactive thinking constantly all the time. There's always 50 things just jumbled around in my head on the move. I will get antsy with people very quickly, especially if what they're saying doesn't make sense and it's not logical. Then it will cause me to get a little antsy with you very quickly and on the defense. Um, the other side of that is that it causes me to be snappy with certain people. I'll snap in a heartbeat on somebody because I'm just like that's bullshit. That's not accurate, and then I have to tell you why. But it's built into me. It's something that I've had since I was a kid, and I think a lot of that was abandonment issues. I was adopted, so I had a very rough childhood. And luckily, I was adopted by two very loving and caring people that constantly look out for my health and well being, and they're always there for me. So, big plus on that end. But it doesn't change what I went through when I was a lot younger, and those problems consistently carried over into my adulthood. Um, that being said, there's also conditions in my body that cause a lot of the stuff that people don't like about me on here. So, for instance, my liver is failing. It's been failing a long time. For at least 7 years, I would say it's been just failing, and it's not getting better. It's very scarred. There's a lot of scar tissue in there, and unfortunately, with that scarring caused an enlarged spleen, which then caused a whole bunch of other problems inside me internally. But the one takeaway from all this is that I'm constantly dealing with hernias. I have four of them now. I had two of them repaired. I have another one in my belly button, and I have a third one now, or a fourth one that's coming up on my left rib. So no matter how healthy I look, my body's just going through craziness, bloating, not being bloated, water retention from a bad liver. Like I'm just in and out, in and out. I look really bad sometimes. Sometimes I'm really happy and go lucky and everything's fine. I'm not puffy faced and great, but I think what I want to really touch on here is the way that I think and why sometimes it seems super destructive on my end, so that you guys understand why I go through these phases on certain things. As a passionate person, I take everything in and I try to listen to everybody, and I really try to take in both sides of every story. But when somebody I see blatantly makes something personal with me, that triggers my thought process into like, well, time to teach a lesson, right? And that's something that I think for me is just very unavoidable. It's just unavoidable. No matter, even if I know the problem exists, it doesn't stop the want to cure the problem. So I will pursue that if somebody makes it personal. And unfortunately, they always get the raw end of the deal on that one, and I look like the bad guy. But it's only to teach a lesson or get you to understand why you fucked up, and that's a big part of it. I go through a lot of erratic thinking periods, and the reason for that is because my liver is in such bad condition. It has caused high levels of ammonia in my bloodstream. And so there's days where I just feel delirious, out of it, just out of touch with reality, society. Like, if it seems like I'm saying crazy things, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just being super passionate, but a lot of times I have high ammonia levels, which causes me to my thought process and thinking on a lot of stuff gets very up and down on certain things, and it causes me to be very snappy and short-tempered with people. So these are conditions I will live with the rest of my life. They're gonna be there. I'm always gonna have those conditions. They're not going anywhere. They're gonna be part of me. It's unfortunate, but they're always gonna be there. So, all the people that are like, "Oh, Dan's a big fucking dickhead." Well, maybe I am, and a lot of it has to do with what I'm going through personally. And I don't mean to ever shed any of that off on other people. I don't mean to push that off on you or push that off on you. But there's really no changing that in me. You either accept who I am and what I go through, or you don't, right? I'm not asking anybody to like me. I'm always going to be me. For every moment that I'm on this planet, I'm always going to be me. I always choose to go against the grain on everything because I want to see if it's possible to beat the system without following the rules. And so a lot of times that's how I take everything on head on. Maybe it creates more stress. Maybe it's harder on me. I don't know. But each time I defeat something that can't be, I feel that much better about it. I'm like, somebody said it couldn't, so I did it. Right. And that's always been my mentality, is to push through everything that people say you can't do. You just can't. You're only going to grow on YouTube if you do this. You're only going to grow if you follow the rules. If you like, that's bullshit. And I'm here to tell you that's absolute garbage horse shit. You do what you want. This is a personality based program. You have fun. As long as you stay within somewhat of the guidelines, you do you, boo boo, and you have fun doing it. So, but in essence, that's why I act a lot of the way that I do. I have no coping mechanisms outside of drones. I don't drink anymore, which was definitely a heavy coping mechanism for me, and other things assorted with that. And that was a way to keep my anxiety levels down without having all that. And I don't take anxiety meds because it turns me into a zombie, and I don't want to be a zombie. I'd rather be a outgoing personality that has fun, and maybe some people accept me, maybe some people don't. I could really give a shit less, right? I'm still going to be me tomorrow and the day after and the day after that and today. So it's not really going to change. But maybe me putting this out there helps you understand how I function and what I'm going through, so that you maybe have a different thought process than Dan, because all I want is people to have fun and learn new things and push themselves. That's all this is about. I want you to have fun, learn things, and push yourself. I get involved in the little drama stuff because it's like, I see that somebody's very wrong, and it needs to be addressed. And you're surrounding yourself with all these yes men people that are just going to keep telling you that what you're doing is acceptable and it's okay, and it's really not. So somebody like me comes in and goes, "Listen, I'll fuck your day up. Here, let me show you why that's bullshit." And then I do it, and then I'm hated for it. But at the same time, it's like somebody had to do it. And then a lot of times people ask me, "Well, Dan, why do you choose to be the internet warrior? Why are you out here Captain Save-A-Ho on the internet?" It's like, it's built into me to want to solve that problem and make that person see reality. That's what it is. You know, it's a drive that's always been in me that I can't get rid of. I always want you to see the destruction of what you're doing, and the things that you're doing that are causing you these problems to be this problematic. And don't get me wrong, I create a problem in myself by doing that, because I don't have to be the guy that corrects things. I don't have to be the guy that calls you out on your bullshit. You're right. I could easily just dismiss it like 90% of the other people out there and move on with life. But then that fucking person never got the point and never learned from it. They never learned a fucking thing from it. Not one thing did they take away from that. They just think they can carry on the way that they're going and doing things the way that they're doing them, even if it's unacceptable and people are getting bad information, or you're just talking lies, you're lying about your lifestyle. Like, it's bad. So I correct it. And that makes me the bad guy because of the way I choose to do it. And the only reason I do it the way I do it is because if I didn't, they would just scoff and be like, "Ha ha, you're just a guy behind the keyboard. You can't do anything," until I prove to you that's utter and absolute bullshit. And then you come to a conclusion for yourself like, "Fuck, man, I fucked up. Maybe I should have just stayed out of it and kept my mouth shut." And that has happened time and time and time again. And I've hated to be that guy, but they learn. Each one of those individuals I did that to learned from that situation, and it didn't happen again. Honestly, it made them a progressively better YouTuber, platform person, and personality to be around. So call me the bad guy, but I've done a lot for the community that I don't think people realize. Right. And that's fine. I'm not asking you to. I don't care if you acknowledge it or you don't. The difference is I'm just here to tell you why I am the way I am and why I do things the way I do them. I deal with a lot of shit throughout the day. You know, I can't hold a regular job like everybody else, so I have to make ends meet by doing things that work for me that outside of the box of what normal people would do, and they think it's weird. Why you do this? Why you do that? Like, who cares? I make money. I survive. I have a job. I do things that benefit me so I can keep moving forward, and I still have fun and do it my way. And that's what this is all about. So I will never stop being me. And if you want to know how to deal with me, it's simple. Just be my friend. That's it. Just be my friend. That's all you have to do. I don't do backstabby bullshit. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't like that stuff. I don't like it in my world. And that's why I chase it so hard when it happens. That's why I go after it so hard when somebody does it to me, because I hate it that much when people do it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of backstabby people and all the bullshit that comes with it. So I teach those people a lesson, especially when they're given bad information and then calling me a liar when they are 100% wrong. 100% wrong. And they don't want to admit it. Swallow your pride sometimes and admit it, and you'll be just fine. Those are the people I have to teach a lesson to. Those are the people that pull the side out of me that I don't like to be, but realize I have to, or they'll never learn anything from it. So I'm a strong-minded individual. I love what I do. I'm here to help everybody. My content is there for that reason. Now you know a little bit more about me, and I hope that helps. Not one comment in here. I used to be drone worship, man. I used to have 50 fucking 60 people in here, everybody chatting it up and having fun. But oh no, Dan got some health conditions, and everybody's scared of him because for whatever fucking reason, man, nobody likes me anymore. I do what I do because I have to. It has to be done. Somebody has to do the dirty work. Nobody wants to be a plumber, but somebody still has to plumb the shit. I'm that guy, unfortunately, and I've chosen that role to do those things. So your shit makes my bread and butter. That's how that works. That is the motto in essence that I roll with, right? Fuck around and find out. So I have to be that guy. I have to be the guy that does that. So, anyways, love y'all. Now you know a little bit more about me. You understand some of the things I'm going through. I constantly have high levels of ammonia, which causes erratic thinking. Yet, even with all that stuff going on, I still push forward and do what I do. You choose to like me, you choose to don't. I'm Dan. I'm Drone Worship. I'm I Fix Shit. I'm every other thing that you could think of out there that I've been named. Barbarian FPV, Dan the Drone Man. I'm all of those things. Consider each one a personality. I was all of them. So, catch you guys on the flip, man. Happy Saturday. And if you celebrate Easter, happy Easter. I'll catch you guys later, man. Toodles.